Hi, today I'm going to talk about 8 films that broke my heart while watching them and stayed with me. These are good recommendations and you have to watch them. Not all of them are romantic movies, some of them are of course, yeah, but some of them broke my heart in a way of humanity, which was tough. Enjoy.
Non scrivere. Non ti fare fottere dalla nostalgia. Dimenticaci tutti. Se non resisti e torni indietro, non venirmi a trovare. Non ti faccio entrare a casa mia. Lo capisti?
Grazie per tutto quello che hai fatto per me.
Qualunque cosa farai, amala. Come amavi la cabina del paradiso. Quando eri picciretto.
So the first one is Cinema Paradiso. It was released in 1988 and it was directed and written by Giuseppe Tornatore. You may also know this director by his another film, which is Malena, and which is very famous with Monica Bellucci and Giuseppe Sulfaro. I would say that it's also a great film. Yeah, it's definitely a great film, but it's more of a sad story. Okay, so back to Cinema Paradiso. I just have to say that this film is just perfect. Acting, writing, cinematography, editing, score, everything. You know, you don't get the possibility to see a perfect movie very often because, you know, there are some moments there and there that you just don't like, okay? And at some point, there are films that are great, but you're watching them and at some point you're like, oh, now I remember, now I am watching a film, okay? It's not real, I'm not there. These characters are just actors. So this film, it's not that story, okay? You just live with the characters. You love with the characters and you cry with the characters and you share their ups and downs. You share it with them, you feel it, you just feel the time. And really, I have no idea why most people didn't hear that much about it, even though it won an Oscar for the best foreign film in 1989, I think.
And the Oscar goes to Italy for Cinema Paradiso. Accepting the award, the new director, Giuseppe Tornatore.
It's classic, it's Italian, it's timeless. But I mean, that's good, you know? You have to have those treasures that are not discovered by most people. So yeah, it's starring such actors as Philippe Noiret, Salvatore Cassio, Jacques Perrin and others. So Cinema Paradiso is a film about the connection between two people from different generations who have a common love to cinema. The action takes place in a small village in Sicily, which is a motherland. I don't know how you say it in English. Motherland, I think. Mother city, mother village. I don't know. The original town of Giuseppe Tornatore, who is once again a director. It's post World War II. Those years when life is tough and the city, we see all these ruins, everything is destroyed. You have no money, you don't know where your husband is he dead on the war, is he alive, is he, I don't know, where is he? It's like very hard time. And what helps people to forget about their financial problems, their problems with their wives or with their husbands at home, political problems, is cinema. Cinema becomes an education. For many people at those times, like, you know, French New Wave, if you saw The Dreamers, Bernardo Bertolucci's film, you would see that films were an education at the time, okay? And it was a very interesting time because cinema was affordable for everyone. In cinema there were no classes. It wasn't like for poor or for rich. It was for everyone. And the people who couldn't read, who couldn't write, they could learn from cinema. It was an amazing time. People were actually going to the theaters, because I'm referencing to what's happening now with all the strikes in LA, actors, writers, and the stream platforms. And you just get the possibility to finally feel the time when films were such appreciated art. So the story follows Toto, which is Salvatore, who is an 8-year-old boy and who discovers his love to cinema in a very early age. And at some point, he goes to the cinema every day. He goes in the afternoon for a pack of milk and he returns with no milk, no money. But he's just watched the picture that amazed him, that made him laugh, that made him cry, that made him think, that made him feel the audience who were sitting next to him. What is more important? So he gets punished, but does it matter? It doesn't. At some point, he develops a friendship with a middle-aged projectionist, Alfredo. And Alfredo is one of those types I was talking about, who couldn't read, who couldn't write, and he could just appreciate cinema. He was working as a projectionist for many years, and he knew nothing but cinema. And his love to cinema was so honest, and the friendship between them was so honest, so loyal, so great, so warm, and it lasts till the last days of one of the characters. So yeah. Also, there's a director's cut, and I truly recommend to watch it because it's 50 minutes longer, but I would say that these 50 minutes are worth it. You get to know more about the characters. City Lights. Classic, timeless Charlie Chaplin. If I was making a video about the best endings in film, it would be absolutely and fairly the first one on the list. Because this ending is so heartbreaking and oh my god, you know, oh my god, this ending it touches you. It touches you, yeah. It does, definitely does. And the film in general it's comedian. It's still funny because it's Charlie Chaplin, who is one of the most, as for me, one of the most influential figure in the cinema history, and he definitely is. Okay, he definitely is. Um, of course, as always, he's a director, he's a writer, he's an actor, he's a producer of this film. It's just absolutely magnificent. You know, the film is absolutely magnificent. The film follows the main character, which is Little Tramp, performed by Charlie Chaplin, along his journey, which is a very funny and a very, I don't know, dramatic sequences that happen to him throughout his days. So it all starts when Little Tramp is walking along the street. No. Let me tell you about the first scene where it all starts. So it's the first scene. The music is playing. A crowd, a big crowd of people are gathered together, and it's the opening of some statue. The prime minister or minister, whoever he is doing his speech. So he's like, and then they take this fabric from the statue. And there's Charlie Chaplin, and there's Little Tramp. He's sleeping, and he wakes up. Everyone is laughing, and he tries to go down from the statue, and it's so funny from the beginning, from the first scene. It's amazing. It's oh my god. So then he walks along the street. He ripped his trousers, and he doesn't have anything to change because he doesn't have any clothes. He goes and he sees this woman who sells flowers on the street, and these like poor kind of flowers that were probably picked up in some field, I don't know. So he sees her, and she's very pretty, and he sees that she looks kind, and she's so gentle, but she's blind. Tramp sees it, and he's sorry for her. So he comes up, and he buys flowers. He gives her money, and as the door of this chauffeured automobile slaps and it departs, and at the same time Charlie Chaplin departs, the girl thinks that Little Tramp is a wealthy man. So the main purpose of the movie, of the character of Little Tramp, is to get money and because he falls for the girl, he falls for her. She's very warm and gentle, and he says that she has a kind soul in her, and he wants to help her. And how would he do that? And it's all like, and it's all dramatic, and it's so very engaging to watch, and romantic, and still so comedian. Can you imagine everything? Like, for our time I was watching it, and I was like, oh my god, I was laughing throughout the whole film, and in the end I was like, oh my god, it hurts. It just hurts. It hurts so much. Also, I've gotta mention this sequence. So there are like 3 sequences. So the first one is when Little Tramp and this blind girl. The second one is when Little Tramp tries to get money in the second part of the movie, and the third one is where Little Tramp is making friends with a millionaire who's always drunk and always has these suicidal thoughts when he's drunk. So, and Trump, he saves him every time, and they become best friends forever, and the next morning the millionaire doesn't know who this is. So if you want to have a good laugh and the tears of heartbreak and happiness in the end, go watch City Lights, because this is a masterpiece.
Penserai qu'à toi.
Reste, ne pars pas, je t'en supplie.
Ne me
Reste,
regarde
mon
pas.
amour.
The next film is a favorite picture by the author of Babylon, Whiplash, La La Land, Damien Chazelle. The next film on the list will be inspired by this one. So it's a French dramatic musical that was released in 1964 by Jacques Demy, and it's The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. Let me say that the music you are hearing now is a composition by Michel Legrand. Sorry for my French accent, baby. The score, like the music in the film, is so good, so good. Imagine a film where every sentence, every word is like a poem turned into music, into songs, but yet it's so true. It doesn't feel like a musical but live. And that would be The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. I have to say that, look, I'm not a fan of musicals, and most people are like me. I've seen a couple of great musicals in my life, but I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of Martin Scorsese. So, musicals, what are you talking about?
What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Not just... You know how you tell a story. What?
No, I don't know. You said it. How do I know? You said I'm funny. How the fuck am I funny? What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
But this one will tear up your heart even if you are not a fan. Let me be honest with you. If you asked me, was it theatrical? I would say that yes, it felt theatrical. Yes, it sometimes felt fake. So I had to get used to that format where every word is a song. So they're singing every word. But it would be fair to mention that even though it will feel theatrical, no matter what, you will cry in the end like a baby. Okay? You will. Because this last scene, I was like sobbing and I was crying my soul out. This is a story of great love between two young people, which will be Geneviève, performed by adorable, talented Catherine Deneuve, and Gua, performed by Nina Castelnuovo. So this is an absolutely heartbreaking story. It won't be that much of a spoiler, but their love ends at some point, and in the end, it hurts. This is classic. This is French, and these colors, this color palette of the film, the performances, and I have to add that I just adored and loved the performance by Anne Vernon, who played Madame Emery. I'm so sorry, who's Geneviève's mom. And yes, she was very good, very good. I loved it. Cinematography by Jean Rabillet amazed me, as well as French fashion, color, and decorations in the movie. You know, I watch all the movies in original languages, with subtitles, of course, because I don't know French, I don't know Italian, German, Japanese, Chinese. I don't know, but I know how to read, so I have this like a very good skill of reading. Well, most people do. So I use it. I prefer to use it when I watch films. And this one, if you do not watch films with subtitles, you have to watch this in French, because if you do not, let's get it straight. You won't be able to say that you watched the film, because it doesn't count. It's a musical. You can't watch musical in your own language without subtitles, okay? You will just never love the film if you watch it not in French. It won't be that good. It will be like, okay, I watched it, I've seen it. I can say that I've seen it. No.
There's only you and I, and we've got no shot. This could never be. You're not the type for me.
Really?
And there's not a spark inside. What a waste of a lovely night.
You say there's nothing here. Well, let's make something clear. I think I'll be the one to make that call.
What's your call?
And though you look so cute in your polyester suit,
It's wool.
you're right, I'd never fall for you at all. And maybe this appeals to someone not in heels, or to any girl who feels there's some chance for romance, but I'm frankly feeling nothing.
Is that so?
Or it could be less than nothing.
Good to know, so you agree.
That's right. What a waste of a lovely night.
Okay, the next film is La La Land. I love this film. I'm gonna say that this film is one of my favorite, and before I start talking about it, I want to all the cinema series lovers, cinephiles, the series nerds, just to fuck off and let me enjoy this cinema, okay? Thank you very much. No, I mean, most people love this film, and I'm sure that, like, most of you have heard of it, if not seen, of course, but this film is very famous. But there are some people who, like, who shout they love cinema, they adore cinema, and how can you compare La La Land to Godfather? How can you compare it to Casablanca? How can you? Have you ever watched Pulp Fiction? Have you ever watched? Yes, so I watched, okay? So I just love it, okay? And it was inspired by the Umbrellas of Cherbourg, and this is, as I said, a favorite film of Damien Chazelle, which is a writer and director of La La Land. I've gotta mention that he was a writer and director for 3 feature films. I love Whiplash also. I won't talk about it in this video, but I love it. I have watched it so many times. Whenever I feel bad, this is a film that makes me get off of that couch and go do it, girl. So I consider Damien Chazelle to be one of the greatest directors of our time, and I know that his last film wasn't like very appreciated by a lot of critics, but I love it. I just can trace his love to cinema and his knowledge in cinema. He's very dedicated. Okay, who haven't watched the film, I will tell you a bit about the plot, which I think is not necessary, but okay. Mia, performed by Emma Stone, is an actress who's been living in LA for 6 years and who is one of those hundreds of thousand actors who want to get their way to Hollywood and to make it there. But she's not a very lucky girl. You know, she's like every other girl in LA, and she goes to auditions and she works as a waitress, I would say, like, yeah, at a cafe, which is on this street where a lot of movie sets and a lot of celebrities visit this cafe for a cup of coffee. So she goes to the auditions every day and she sees the same girls with the same hair, who have longer legs, who are prettier, which Emma Stone is amazing. Emma Stone is authentic. Emma Stone is a very, very talented and beautiful actress. But in the film, she sees prettier, more beautiful, maybe more talented. So she never gets the role. She's treated like nothing. Like most of the actors in LA, she's treated like nothing. So she goes to these auditions, and the casting directors are like messaging someone on the phone, or just like someone knocks on the door and just like, yeah, come on, yeah, go on, darling, go on. Okay, that's good, thank you very much, you can go. Yeah, please, yeah, the next one. It's a tough word. At some point, she starts to meet at several events Sebastian, performed by Ryan Gosling, and I really love the chemistry between Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. They are just good together. Oh, please let me mention that I was on premiere of Barbie last week, and I live, for now I live in Germany. I'm not German, okay. I live in Germany, so I went to another city to watch it because it like was a premiere, and it was in English, only there, not in my town. So I went there alone, and I got back home at very late night. And let me say that I love Margot Robbie. She is wonderful and she's amazing. But Ryan Gosling, oh my god, he stole the film. It was so funny, it was so good. I loved so much of his jokes. So yeah, okay, next. So Sebastian, he is a jazz pianist who is not very successful in his industry. Why? Because jazz is dying. Nobody needs jazz anymore. They just need another kind of music. There are not a lot of people who still appreciate jazz in the movie. I do. I appreciate jazz very much, so I love jazz. But in the movie, so he thinks so, and he wants to do something. He's very talented pianist. He's not just one of the, like, he's very talented one, and he's true lover. He's true jazz lover. I love this jazz thing that Damien Chazelle has, because he was a jazz player and he loves jazz, and every film you can see, I mean Whiplash, it's all about jazz. Okay, drums, jazz, Whiplash. Then you can see Babylon, jazz everywhere. So yeah, it's just a small notice. So he tries to make his way, and he has to play some Christmas songs in restaurants just to pay for his bills. So they meet again and again and again, and at some point they finally have their first normal conversation, and they fall for each other. You can see it. They have this chemistry on screen. Amazing. It's a great love story, and they embrace each other, and they support each other, and they inspire each other. So Chazelle tried to make this switch between a dialogue and a song in the smoothest way possible, and he did it just great. So I mean, I know some middle-aged man who said that they cried like a little girl watching the film. And I also consider this ending as one of the best ones. It's heartbreaking and you cry a lot, and every time I've seen this film numerous times. I'm crying every time, a lot of times, you know. I can't, that's so dramatic, and this ending, it just, you know, I'm like watching this movie the 10th time, and I'm like, okay, now I'm not crying, and this ending starts, and I'm like, oh my god, again, once again. So at some point, the great love story has to end, because you've gotta make choices in life, tough choices, in order to pursue, to chase your dreams, your goals, your career. And when time comes, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to make a choice. The right choice. What is the right choice? Is it love or career? So, yeah. A genius work of cinematographer Linus Sandgren. A wonderful work of an editor, Tom Cross, who has edited all the Chazelle's films, and a marvelous work of a choreographer, Mandy Moore, is very well appreciated by me. That is the last and my favorite part, which is music by Justin Hurwitz. I mean, I listen to it almost every day when I'm going somewhere, and it inspires me so much, and it's just, oh my god. So Justin Hurwitz was also a composer for some of the music in Whiplash and in Babylon. So I think that it's great when you find this crew with whom you work on your every film that just understand what you want. They can contribute their creativity in your work, and you just have this, like, you know, the same wave, similar vision in life. So it's wonderful, wonderful.